Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Duster Bust. Happy Sunday. Let's talk dash. So we've been doing a ton of work trying to get the dash ready. Not 100% ready, but I have the frame and the dash pad all completed now. So today we're going to focus on that and then we'll cover the rest next week. Overall, think it looks great. Made a few design tweaks as we went through. So let me first take you guys through kind of the overall process to get here, and then we'll come back, we'll talk a couple of the highlights. Today, I'm going to be talking about this dash pad. So for me, this is one that I think these things are overpriced and there's not a whole lot to them. So I'm going to attempt to rebuild mine. I got some vinyl. So I went to the fabric store, bought some nice vinyl, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot to this. So I'm going to strip it down. I'm going to take some measurements and a few photos first, make sure that I get the dimensions right. I'm going to strip it down entirely because this thing is really shot. So we're going to strip it down, clean it up, see what we end up with. Alright, so this dash pad is off of our 74 Plymouth Duster, but I believe you should be able to translate this to just about any type of dash pad, at least from that era. So, alright, here we go. All right, so we took our dash pad, stripped it down just to the frame. I went ahead and hit it with a brush wheel, got all that extra crap out of it, and then just hit it with a coat of paint for a little extra protection. Now the hard part is trying to reupholster it. So I really like this high density foam that comes in, you got puzzle piece versions of it. Harbor Freight is where I picked up. Here's a knee pad version of it. This stuff is very durable, easy to use, and cheap. So I went over to Harbor Freight. I'm not a big fan of Harbor Freight, but there's some things that it's hard to screw up. So the this right here is a anti-fatigue mat that they sell over Harbor Freight. Is 10 bucks for it, and the backside is not textured. So what we're doing here is the way that this works is everything overlaps just a little bit and then curls over, wraps. We just glue the whole thing down. I'm gonna start with this, Gorilla Spray adhesive, and if that's not working, what I know works really well just from past craft projects with the kids and stuff is hot glue. The standard Gorilla hot glue gun for foam to foam works really well. So what I'm gonna do first is trying to match the geometry of the original is ideal, and if for some reason I can't do it, then I'll simplify it. But I'm first gonna try to lay this down. So this is the top surface on, if it was facing you, it would be like this, and this is the top. So this extends out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it on here. I'm gonna glue this piece down, and I'm gonna glue it far enough back to where I have plenty of space to play here on this end, and eventually this will wrap back. But what I want to do is I want to fill this void and create that kind of nose that it has on the shelf. So I'm going to be trying to recreate that with other pieces of foam that I have, filling that in, and then wrapping this back, and then gluing it down there. And then once we have it all foam wrapped, then we can worry about our vinyl. So this is it first. Try to get this cut, shaped, and glued on here. So here we go. All right, so let's talk a couple of the highlights, starting with the frame. So I did change color from the original plan, but I think this gray ties it all in well, and it's not as in your face as the, the clear coat bare metal would have been. It was just too much when I held it up in place. So this, I think, came out really good. A little bit of clear coat on top of a darker gray matte, and I think it has just enough shine to make it look nice, but not to steal all the attention. All right, coming down inside of here, we were major, holes all over the place in here.
it came out pretty good. If you really get down here and nitpick, you can see a couple spots where I used a little bit of body filler, and you know, still mastering that art, but that's all right. I am actually really happy with as smooth as it came out on the ashtray, deleting the ashtray. I think this is just nice and clean. I did get a little bit of like kind of spider web cracking in there on the gray. I don't know what happened there, and I didn't notice it until after I cleared it. You know, it just didn't show up in the matte finish, but that's all right. That's going to be covered anyway, so didn't, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. But I think, you know, keeping these lines, contouring all that, and just getting it nice and straight, filling all those holes, I think that looks really good. And then, you know, we'll have to fill in all our new paneling here, but that's fine. All right, on the dash pad, in general, I think it looks great. I think this pattern here, I'll try to get it nice and close there. So I intentionally went with this material. I like this material, and it matches the pattern, the vinyl pattern on the seats. So I thought that was a nice way to tie it in together. There are a few imperfections, you know, still learning, but so I did have to sew this corner just because there was no other way to really fold it up and tuck it in there. So they're not uniform side to side. That's fine. They're a little loose in a few spots. It's a little loose. You can see a little here, over here especially. It's a little loose right there. And then there's one or two spots where the nose isn't quite right. See, it's a little flat right here. But did it myself. Feel pretty good about it. You know, I think it works. The price was right. You know, it's good experience building it up. All right, two last things to note. First is these vent covers. I picked these up from Detroit Muscle Technology, and eventually I'm going to want to put the heater in it. So I figured it was the right time just to not have to make a cover plate or anything. So these were about 50 bucks for the pair of them. The fit and finish was just okay. I had to kind of finagle it in place, but it'll be okay. Last is the mounting hardware. So it was important to me to set it up in a way that I can easily pull the dash again later if I needed to. And before the original, you know, I had some videos on taking it out without removing the windshield, and then the way that it was originally set up was a Phillips head going straight down into it with a long bolt, and the only way that you could do that was either pull the windshield out or get in and cut it. So what I did here was I just found a simple nut and bolt combo in stainless and used a 3/4 inch bolt. So make sure it was hex. That way you can get in and hold the top and bottom of it and turn it that way. And with the 3/4 inch, shouldn't be a problem to do it even with the windshield in place. So that's it. So that is all of the part one changes, and I will continue to get the rest of it ready to show with the gauges and everything else fit in for next week. So that's it. Drop me a like, leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.